Hi everyone, my name is Allison Grosz. I'm an attorney and a partner with Hemrick O'Malley, PLLC here in New York City. Today I want to talk a little bit about asylum claims, and specifically I want to talk about something that's come up several times in recent conversations that I have had with clients and potential clients regarding the information that they include in their asylum claim. As many people know, an asylum claim typically requires a detailed personal statement from the asylum applicant. In a detailed personal statement, an applicant is supposed to go over all of the background history and details for why they've come to the United States to apply for asylum. Asylum, in other words, is request for protection inside of the United States from returning to your home or native country because of fear of persecution in the future or past persecution in that country. Of course, there's a lot more details involved with asylum, but that's the general gist of it. When a person writes a personal statement, they're supposed to include an entire history of the events, if there are any, that took place that led a person to leave their country to come to the United States and request asylum or protection from returning to their country. In the personal statement, a lot of people don't realize that even if they don't have supporting evidence, meaning any objective documentation to support events that happened to you, many people don't realize that they are supposed to include all details of their asylum claim, whether or not they have objective evidence to support that claim. What this means is that if any events took place in a person's home country that led them to come to the United States to apply for asylum, there doesn't necessarily need to be objective evidence or any evidence to support that those things happened. A lot of people make the error in thinking that if they don't have this evidence or objective evidence to support what happened to them in their country, that they cannot talk about that, or they can't bring that up in their personal statement or at all in their asylum claim. What ends up happening is a person has a fear of returning to their country, but they don't actually talk about what that fear is based on or why, based on any past events that may have happened to you. When you don't disclose all of the past events that happened to you, whether it is physical harm, threats of physical harm, or any sort of threats or physical harm to your family because or related to your asylum claim, what ends up happening is you are inadvertently or by accident omitting what's called material information or material evidence from your asylum claim. Just because you don't have evidence to support that these things happen to you doesn't mean that you shouldn't talk about them. If you don't talk about them and then you get to your asylum interview or your asylum hearing before an immigration judge, and for some reason these events come up as part of your asylum claim, but you didn't previously talk about them in your personal statement because you didn't have evidence, well, that is considered by the court to be what's called a material omission of evidence. And that is a credibility concern, meaning that the judge or the asylum officer deciding your case has reason to think that you are not telling the complete truth about your case. And for that reason, oftentimes cannot approve your case. So with this being said, it's extremely important that even if you don't have the evidence that you think you need to support events or claims that happened against you in your home country, you still do need to talk about these events or these circumstances that led you to apply for asylum. And of course, I highly recommend working with a qualified immigration attorney about these matters, whether you have evidence or you're missing objective evidence to support your claim. We here at Hemrick O'Malley, of course, represent people every day in their asylum claims, as well as in every other immigration matter. We're happy to hear from you. You can find us online at hemrick.law, or you can call us at 833-848-7838. And until next time, I look forward to talking to everyone again soon.